We're discovering the secrets to self-care in our minds, our bodies, and our homes. My guest today is Michelle Melendez. She's been a fitness instructor since 1996, and she has over 12 fitness certifications. She is the founder of the Pilates Cardio Camp in Los Alitos, California, and Women Being Fit, an online fitness service that offers women workouts with love, a complete food reset, and a detox program, and a Live in a Body You Love program. And she offers a retreat. Michelle has been supporting women all over the world to get fit and turn frustration and embarrassment about their body into love and ease. Hi, Michelle. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I love getting this information out. So thank you for inviting me.
Well, I think it's so important to really talk about living in a body that we love. That's part of self-care, is really embracing ourselves. And I know you have a beautiful, amazing transformational story. Could you tell us your story around how you shifted your body and your mindset?
Yeah, so for me, I didn't struggle with my weight, but I did hugely struggle with body image. When I was 13, they found that out. I had a slight case of scoliosis, and it was part of my back was protruding a little bit further behind the other side. So part of my chest was sticking forward. And being a teenager, and my breasts were coming in, and one boob was clearly larger than the other one, and I was mortified. And I have a twin sister, and she did not have this issue. So it was I can tell you just different stories. Like, I remember going to the place where you buy clothes and shopping, and getting in the fitting room and slowly like opening the door so that I could see where the attendant was, because I didn't want her to see me. So I was so embarrassed about the shirts and how they fit on my body. Every time we went out, I would always ask my sister, "Can you tell?" And she knew exactly what that question meant. And every time she would say, "No, Michelle," and nobody cares. But I cared, and I was always nervous. Anytime a cute guy looked at me, I was afraid that he would start looking at my breasts and start to laugh. And it wasn't until, I became a trainer in 1996. I was in my early 20s. And I thought the reason why I became a trainer was because I thought, okay, I'm going to do something to work out. And maybe if I work one side of my body, because it's my right side that's a little bit bigger, if I work my right side, that maybe it'll go down a little bit and they'll be even. So I would literally go to the gym and I would work one side of my chest. And finally a trainer came up to me and asked me some questions about what I was doing, and that was also embarrassing. But anyway, I actually started to enjoy working out. It started feeling really good. I had more energy. I felt stronger. And even though I was really still insecure about how I looked in the shirts that I wore, my confidence actually started to gain, because I just felt good. Like, that's what the fitness started to do for me. And so I struggled with this body image until about my 30s. And what happened was, I had been a fitness trainer for probably about 10 or 12 years. And I started noticing that women would come to work out, and they'd get fit and they'd start feeling good. And then something would take them out, and they would be gone for like a year. And then they'd come back and they would yo-yo, get fit, lose some weight and go off. And it would be a total cycle over and over again. And I started to get really curious about why was this? Some women stayed fit, other women they kept having this yo-yo cycle. So I started, that's when I got all these certifications, because I wanted to know, but I became a Heart Zone trainer, a fitness by phone coach, body pump, martial fitness, kickboxing, like all these fitness certifications. But nothing was giving me the insight into human behavior about why this was a struggle. And then I started studying neuroscience, and I started studying emotions. And that is when the light bulb went off, not just for understanding why women struggle with their weight year after year, and most of their life or all of their life, but for myself. I started seeing my own emotional addiction, emotional conditioning around not liking my body. Because even though I was a fitness trainer, I still was really insecure. Like, if somebody were to tell me, "Michelle, you're going to be telling the world that your boobs are uneven. And I would have been like, you're crazy. There's no way. But now it doesn't even faze me, because I understand the neuroscience of why it was happening. And I've worked through to create a new emotional conditioning in my body where I don't even care. And that feels so good. So maybe we should start there, and because that's a big issue for women is body image and the yo-yo of struggling and getting results and sabotaging yourself. And it goes back and forth, and it can go back and forth for years. And some women will go their entire lives not living in a body they love. And that breaks my heart.
Well, and you talk, I know, about even being addicted to being overweight, that yo-yo can be an addiction. Could you speak a little bit about how women do become addicted to being overweight?
Yeah. So you know that you're addicted to being overweight if you think about your weight every single day. Like if you get on the scale, and one of my clients, I asked her, I said, do you know who you would be if you didn't think about your weight? Like, what magazines would you buy? What would you think about instead? And she really couldn't answer that question. So if you don't know who you would be without thinking about your struggle to lose weight, if your struggle to lose weight feels normal, like you know how it feels to struggle, it's not what you want, but it feels normal in your body because that's who you see yourself as. That's who your family and friends see you as. If you get nervous, like going to a party, and you're especially like a pool party or something, like in the summertime where you have to wear some smaller clothes or short sleeves, and the first thing that you're thinking about is, oh my gosh, how am I going to look and what am I going to wear? And there's a feeling of kind of anxiety that is telling you, and you've done this most of your life or for a really, really long time, that's telling you that there's an emotional conditioning in every cell of your body. And so what you want to know about is that, and this is something that most trainers, I did not learn this at a fitness conference. This was years and years of researching and understanding that when you have an emotion, there's a peptide that releases from your brain that goes into every cell of your body. And you have 50 to 70 trillion cells in your body. And each of these cells, this is amazing, each of these cells has 100,000 chemical reactions that happen in the cell per second. I mean, these cells are amazing. These are every single cell in your body. So what happens is you have a feeling of embarrassment about your body, shame about your body. You release a peptide that goes into every cell, every of the 70 trillion cells in your body, and it connects with that cell through what's called a receptor site. And it actually starts to vibrate that cell at the frequency of that emotion. So every single emotion you have is on a scale, and the highest vibration emotion that there is love. That's one of the highest vibrations of feeling in your body. Like if you've ever been in love and you feel like you're floating on air, like you're not touching the ground, like nothing could go wrong in your life. Or have you ever been really angry? In every single cell of your body, you're not angry in your head, you're angry in your toes, in everything, and you're just like on fire. That is a vibration that's happening in every cell. So if you constantly think frustrated about my weight, why doesn't exercise work for me? Why don't I have the willpower? It's not about willpower. It's about your cells become conditioned and familiar with the frequency of the emotion that you have every single day. And so this is what happens. You will wake up in the morning and your body has a mind. Your cells are the intelligent mind of your body. Your body goes, what do I normally feel like? Oh, I feel frustrated that I can't lose weight. I'm always struggling with my weight. And this is kind of your cells going, what's that vibration that I need to have right now? So here's the crazy thing. Your body will actually send a signal to your brain to think thoughts that create that emotional feeling so the cells can have their fix of that vibration. So what happens is that they go, oh, let's get on the scale. and you have that anticipation right before you get on the scale. What's it going to say? How am I going to feel today? Is it going to be up? Is it going to be down? That feeling of anxiety right before you get on, that is a conditioning in your body. So this is what happens too. You go to the gym, you're like, woo, I'm going to work out, it's January. And then 4 to 6 weeks in, this is why 4 to 6 weeks after you will start working out, your body will send a signal to your brain, I'll work out tomorrow. Dude, you're really too busy right now. You really don't have time. Or you're on that diet. You've been really good this week. Just have that cheesecake. So that's actually your body sending a signal to your brain to have the thought so it can have the fix of the emotional frequency. And that's crazy. It's when I learned this stuff, I was like, light bulb, light bulb, light bulb. Because for me, it was about getting ready to go out, feeling insecure in my body, worried that guys would laugh at me. And actually that happened. I was in my 20s. I was kissing this guy, making out with him. And no, it wasn't. It was in my teens, late teens. And he felt my boobs and he started laughing. And I remember that feeling. It was like mortification, shame, embarrassment, and that feeling. So every time I went out, I was so afraid. And that became an emotional frequency in my body that my cells became familiar with and addicted to, even though that's not what I wanted. So what do you think about that? As I get on a roll with this stuff.
No, it's fascinating. I mean, there's a lot of talk about the mind-body connection and like how the mind affects the body, but actually like talking about the frequency, talking about the peptides and the neuroplasticity behind it. I mean, this is the conversation that keys into how we're neglecting our self-care, how we're neglecting ourselves, and then how we can shift the conversation into a place of care. And I know you have a couple of ways that you work with people on releasing what you call like the addiction to being overweight, or even in this case, shifting the pattern that goes from our mind to our body. Could you share with us some of those ways that you work on releasing those?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. First, I do what's called a detox. I call it a food reset and detox because you need to clean out your guts, for one. Your digestive tract, it is 80% responsible for your immune system. Serotonin, the feel-good feeling, the feel-good chemical in your brain is actually created in your guts. It's actually created in your digestive tract. So what happens is a lot of women don't know is that when you're eating a lot of sugar, a lot of processed foods, even the air you breathe, even the lotion that you put on your skin is all filtered through the liver, which is part of your digestive system. Your colon can actually, and it does, there's undigested food that sticks to the outside walls of the colon if you're not eating organic, if you're eating GMOs. So what happens is your liver tries to clean out your blood, the air you breathe, the water, and what's in your skin. And then what happens is if everything gets too clogged up, that's when you get tired. That's when you get sugar cravings, because sugar cravings are because your gut has more bad bacteria than good, and sugar feeds bad bacteria. Plus, you're tired more. You're depressed. Mm-hmm. Depression tells you a really huge sign. You got to do a detox. You got to cleanse out your guts, your intestinal wall. Your guts are amazing. So that's the first thing I do is we do what's called a food reset and a detox, where we cleanse the liver and we cleanse the gallbladder and we cleanse the entire colon and we get everything cleaned out. That's going to make you start to feel really good. You're going to have more energy. And then I take people through what's called a Live in a Body You Love program, which includes, like you mentioned, my retreat that I do here in the Santa Cruz Mountains it's called the Land of the Medicine Buddha. Mm-hmm. And what we do, that's part of the Live in a Body You Love program, which is a long program. It's about 6 months. It might be even going to 8 months. And the reason why is because this emotional conditioning is not going to end overnight. This is something you've worked on for a really long time. Your body is very familiar with struggling to lose weight, with feeling frustrated, disappointed, ashamed of your body. You have a certain emotional frequency of feeling when you look in the mirror. So that's why we do a longer program. But the first thing to start with is to pause, is like, can you slow down? Can you chew your food? That's one of the first things I tell people in the digestive system in the detox, is you've got to chew your food 25 times, or at least until it's liquid, because there's enzymes in your mouth that start to break down the food that help your guts to pull the nutrients out. So if your food's more broken down, your body can actually pull more nutrients out of the food. There's no teeth in your intestines, so you want to be chewing as much as you can, and then also be drinking water. So that's the first thing I do, is we do a complete detox. And then the next thing I do is talking about the emotional conditioning, and we find out, okay, what is your emotional, what is your body familiar with? What is the sequence of your day look like? How do you feel, when you first get up in the morning? And we do different practices to help to shift that. One of the practices that I love is, you want to think about who you are in the world as there's two parts of you. You can actually, when you pause, and I said pause earlier, when you pause, you can actually see how you're behaving in the world. Like if you're constantly going, but if you just pause for just a second, like actually 15 to 30 seconds, and you stand and you let the sun hit your face, and you just breathe, and you think about your day or your morning or some conversation you just had with somebody, and how you reacted and how you felt, and you start to recognize the memorized patterns in your body. Here's the thing, is like, when you get into a car, you unconsciously drive the car. Your body's mind is driving the car. So you put on the gas, you don't even think about it. It's the same thing with your day. Your body has memorized how to do how to brush your teeth, how to take a shower, how to put on your makeup. You don't have to think about it. How to feel. So when you can pause and just think and watch yourself and see the memorized patterns. Oh, I noticed that when Jane came in, I felt really insecure. Wow, what was that about? She's really beautiful, and I'm feeling I'm insecure and kind of self-conscious about myself. And you're able to see the pattern. And then and this is why the program is so long, is because this is not easy. This is unconscious. 90 to 95% of your day, you live unconsciously in the emotional frequencies that your body is conditioned to. So only 5, maybe 10% of your day is a conscious thought, where you're able to actually think about what you're doing. But most of the time it's unconscious. But when you pause, and the other thing I said, let the sun shine on you, and you get into nature, nature automatically raises your emotional vibration. Just by letting the sun shine on your face and feeling the breeze on your body, touching a tree, it actually raises your emotional vibration. Putting your feet on the ground, I don't know if you've heard of grounding, sends negative ions from the earth into your body, getting you away from those electronics, will actually elevate your emotional vibration. And then take a look and notice yourself. And then one of the really good thing that I like to tell people to do too, if you're in it and you're just like feeling down, ashamed, embarrassed, whatever the feeling is, and you're just like, oh, I just want to get out of this, shake your body. Literally 1 minute. Time yourself, start your timer, and shake everything you got. Don't worry about what's wiggling. Shake your body. What that does, it automatically, again, raises the emotional vibration. It breaks the set point. When you are feeling frustrated, embarrassed, ashamed of your body, you're sitting in it and you're letting the story run in your head. That's a set point that your body's going, okay, this feels normal. I got this. This is what we know. The way to change a set point is if you're sitting down, stand up, shake, 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 shake. 1 minute, then breathe. And the last thing I want to share about that is, it's not a mistake that you're here at this time in history. It's not a mistake. You are you. It's not a mistake that you had the parents you had, that you've had the experiences you've had, even if they've been super horrible or really great. It's not a mistake that you are in the body you're in, because sister, brother, you are an infinite intelligence. That's the cells of your body. The cells of your body, there's nothing plugging you into the wall, giving you electricity. The cells of your body are intelligent. There's an intelligence inside of you that wanted to come at this time in history to experience life through your body, through your experiences, all of them, that created your personality. Your journey here on this planet at this time in history is to have an emotional expansion and move toward love. And doing that will not only shift you and create some new results in your life, but it will make a shift around the world and create a shift that we truly all need, which is moving toward love. And that's why I do the work that I do.
Oh my gosh. That's like you speak right into my heart. The reason that I do the work I do is all about love, right? And I'm a firm believer that it starts with us. Like when we're not in love with ourselves, it's really hard for us to spread that love out into the world.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would love to get a little bit deeper into what we have about 10 minutes left. I would love to get into just some nuts and bolts of exercise, because you have this vast history with fitness. I'm also in the fitness industry as well. Could you share with us just kind of your insight onto where fitness plays a role in how we take care of our body and to our best self?
Yeah. You don't have to go to the gym. I have an online fitness program called Get Fit with workouts that are 10, 20, 30 minutes that I filmed around the world with positive affirmations in each workout. So, but you don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to do a class. Just move your body. It doesn't matter, go outside, go for a walk. Now that's the basic. Your body needs movement. And we weren't designed to sit at the computer, for 10 or 12 hours a day or more. And yet that's what's happening. And so even if you just do 10 minutes, even if you just do stand up and do 1 minute squats, time yourself, and you do that, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you've gotten 3 sets in. That's legs. If you want to get off the toilet at 95 years old, you've got to be working your legs. Now, if you have any knee issues, those could look like leg lifts. You can do a standing leg lift where you just lift your leg up and down 1 minute on each side, and then you go to the side and you go behind you. There's your workout right there. It needs to be something that you enjoy. I had a client once say, Michelle, I hate going to the gym. And I was like, well, then I give you full permission to never go to the gym again. I said, let's find something that works for you, something you like. And it ended up being a combination of yoga and Zumba. So it doesn't matter what you do. And as far as it doesn't matter what you do to move your body, but I do want to tell you, strength training is vital for especially women, especially Caucasian women, because of osteoporosis and bone density. Plus, sister, if you want to be lifting up your grandbabies, you've got to be working your arms. And I'll just tell you the truth. I'm not a big fan. I'm not teaching live as much as I used to. So today I went for a run, and then I came home and I did 4 sets of my biceps and 3 sets of my shoulders and my triceps. And honestly, not a big fan of working out on my own. I usually teach a group class. So I put on my favorite music. And I was just like, okay, Michelle, you're just going to do 1 set, 1 set of your biceps. I did 1 set, and then I danced a little bit, and I was like, okay, you're just going to do 1 more set. And I kind of played this little trick with myself. Like, I just have to do 1 more set, and that's it. And then I would just let the weight sit there, and I'd look at him. I can do 1 more set. I can do 1 more set. And I would just kind of play this game with myself, because I sometimes don't like to do the things I know I need to do. So I play little games. On my Get Fit program, I have a game that you play where you put in how many workouts you want to do for the month. And then every time you do a workout, you say, I did a workout, and you see yourself move up the scale. You see me move up the scale. You see the sisters in the community move up the scale. So it's kind of fun. And if you're playing the game on your iPhone, you get fireworks and applause that go off at the end. So that's really, really fun. But you got to make it fun. You were meant to come here to feel joy, to be in love with life. You were. And the journey to that, because it doesn't start like that, right? We've all had tragedies that have happened. We've all had pain and discomfort, and disease has affected people that we love. And can you hold them in light and know that there's a reason why they came into your life? You know, I remember being with my aunt when she was transitioning out of her body from cancer, and I was in the hospital room with her last 2 weeks of her life. So grateful to be there, and so grateful to have that experience with her, and knowing that she's not gone, you know, and feeling her always with me. When I feel joy, when I feel happiness, I can feel her. So there's a reason why. And for going back to fitness, twice a week, strength training minimum. You've got to be pumping those irons. You've got to be lifting weights. You got to go to the burn. Here's the really cool thing: when you go to the burn, what's happening is you're actually making small micro tears in your muscle. You're actually tearing your muscle. And what's happening with that is that as long as your nutrition is up to par, your body, when you sleep, will repair your muscle by burning your fat. So that's when you feel that burn, and that's normally when women go, oh, that's enough. Go a little bit harder, because that's making tears. You're tearing your muscle. Now your body's going to repair it when you sleep within the next 48 hours, and you'll actually burn your fat to feed your muscle. So 2 days of strength training a week, definitely upper body, lower body, and then 2 to 3 days of cardio. And even I would even recommend, if you can just get like 10 minutes of a walk-in, or just even standing and shaking your body in the sun. Shaking, that counts. Try shaking for 1 minute and see how you feel. Your heart rate's going to come up. Your body is going to zing. It'll zing. It's amazing. And that can be your exercise. If you have knee issues, Rebounder. Get a Rebounder on Amazon. It's called Rebounder. It's just a little mini trampoline. Super great, especially for your lymphatic system, because when you're shaking, you're helping to cleanse the lymphatic system. And yeah, so thank you for asking that question.
Yeah, I think it's so important to recognize, like, we still need to move this thing around. It's like you spoke to, we want it to last until we're 90 years old. So putting in those practices that really do serve this vessel.
Yeah, my grandfather, his brother is older and fitter. His brother, you know, bikes and runs, and night and day, those two gentlemen. My grandfather sits and watches television, and he has a walker. His brother, still active, able to move around. You know, my mom, you know, for a long time, I would always say, Mom, you gotta work out. And she would, it's like, the people who are closest to you don't listen to you. But now she's getting older, and she's realizing that, wow, she does not have the same muscle she had. And so she is doing the 3 exercises that I got for her. I gave her, you know, bicep curls 1 minute with these weights that go to fatigue, shoulder presses, pushing up, and tricep extension. So those were the 3 things that I had for my mom. So, you know, if that's all you get, or just if you want to just do even just 2 push-ups against a wall or a table, super easy, 30 seconds, and bicep curls, and then squats. You got most of your upper body. So it can be really simple as that.
Well, and I love that, keeping it simple, right? You shared before about, okay, you don't like to go to the gym. Cool. You never get to go to the gym, and you find what works for you. And ending frustration around exercise. And speaking of ending frustration, I know you have a gift for us that is all about ending our frustration around weight loss. Could you share with us a little bit about your gift and what we're going to get when we access that?
Yeah, so my gift is 5 keys to end weight loss frustration. 5 keys to end weight loss frustration, and you can get it on my website, womenbeingfit.com. And it is an ebook that I wrote that gives you the information, some of the information that we've gone over, but it also goes into more detail into understanding your emotional conditioning, gives you some tips that are great to start to shift that emotional conditioning, and then also lets you know a little bit about who I am and the programs I run. So womenbeingfit.com, and 5 keys to end weight loss frustration.
And we'll make sure that link is right here on this page. So we'll make it really easy for everybody to access it. Nice. Michelle Melendez, thank you so much. This is so beautiful. And the conversation that you're bringing to the table is so important in terms of self-care, really starting to rewire our minds. That's the place it starts.
Yeah.
So again, thank you so much. Do you have any last final thought that you'd like to leave with our viewers?
Yeah, if you are struggling with your weight and you've been struggling for a really long time, just know that it is coming from your body. That's an emotional conditioning. It's not because you don't have willpower. It's not because, such and such happened to you, or, whatever self-doubt or shame that you have. It is an emotional conditioning in your body, and you can release it. It's possible. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some effort. And if you're ready, it is truly, truly possible for you to shift that. So just know that, that you can do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle, for joining me today.